Hi guys, Ray here. I'm going to give my quick review of the game. City beating Southampton 3-1. Good performance overall. A bit dodgy at times. We had so many chances to score, we just didn't take them. Edison was fantastic in goal. Absolutely wonderful save in the first half. Incredible. And he's so cool and calm, the way he just gets the ball and passes it around. I think he did a feint on one guy, turned him, passed it the other way. Fantastic. Moving forwards, I think Danilo had a decent game at right back. I think he offered a lot more than Walker's been offering going forwards recently. I think he had one rake in the game that I can remember, but apart from that, I think he had a decent enough game, as good as ever. Can't really say too much negative about them really. Maybe someone could have tried to block the shot on goal where they scored, but that was mainly the fault of Zinchenko. I mean, he was too lackadaisical, too relaxed. I don't know how you want to call it, but he turned into a different player. You could see him after they scored. He had his head in his hands and rubbing his face, and he really he knew he'd made a massive error. And I think that's you can't trust him. Yes, he might play the next game against Liverpool, but he's always got a mistake in him, like Delph. And there's another time when you could see a long ball going over his head, and you just knew it was always going over his head, and he was either backtracking, not sure whether to really just turn around and sprint after it. I think that's what he should have done, and he just didn't do it. Midfield, it's great to have Fernandinho and David Silva back. Fernandinho, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. He's an absolute linchpin, a key to what we do, and same as David Silva, because if we've got the ball and we're threatening, then they haven't got the ball and they can't score and they can't threaten themselves. So it's great to see them two back. Sterling on the left, absolutely fantastic. He tried so many times to take people on. Sometimes he succeeded, sometimes he didn't, but he was always a major threat. Probably man of the match for me. Even though he doesn't work every time, you can't dribble past people every time, but I think he had a great game. Sergio worked his cotton socks off. Sergio did, absolutely ran everywhere. Got booked for kicking one of their players up in the air, but he scored a goal, and he could and should have scored more. But he's coming back, and you'll take that performance from him. Bernardo Silva, I think it was alright. I think it helped him having David Silva and Fernandinho there. I think because he's not the guy who has to do all the creating. You've got David for that. So I think Bernardo had a decent game. And lastly, and leastly, Mahrez, I thought he had a shocker. Especially in the first 10-15 minutes, he had the ball loads of times, and it was either passing it backwards, which we've become used to, or trying to take people on and failing. It's quite disappointing. A few City fans mumbling and grumbling about the way he's playing and saying he's bringing nothing to the team. I still think he does offer a lot, but he's not producing, and that was kind of the story of the game from him. And that chance he had, a one-on-one with the keeper, I'm sorry, it never really looked like he was going to score. Company was very good, lucky to escape, I think, an early yellow card. And he got one in the second half, he could have been sent off. Zinchenko was also lucky with what looked like he gave a penalty away. Linesman didn't give it, and we went up the other end and scored. I think from where we were sitting, it looked like a foul on Sterling in the penalty area, and unless your name's Mo Salah, you don't get those sort of things. But overall, I'm not going to go through the subs. They didn't have long enough on the pitch to really make much of a difference. So overall, we wobbled a little. I have to say that once they scored that goal, we wobbled a little at 1-1. We didn't look as comfortable and as confident as we did prior to that. which has been the story of the last few games. You know, we get that goal, we let them score, and we start wobbling. And the other team know they can get something, and you could see them working harder, Southampton, after they scored that goal. But thankfully, we won the game. Hopefully, Fernandinho isn't injured. He got an absolutely vicious tackle late on in the game, and he went off substituted with about 5 minutes to go. We roll on to Thursday. Guys, if you're around at the Liverpool game, you know, at the Etihad Stadium, come and speak to us. It's going to be a very, very busy game, very, very busy evening. A lot of interviews lined up, and it's the game of the season right now. You can't call it any other way, and we really need to get 3 points out of that game. See you around, Blues.